Good evening, everybody. I wanted to quickly go over some of the stochastic setup and logic. When I do find this chart, I will try to share it for you guys. But this is just simply the four stochastics. This is your 9-3, your 14-4, your 44, and your 60-10. And this is the D line only. So you're going to uncheck the K line and just check the D line only. And this is like probably a level 3, so I could see it better. And this is just like a reddish orange, blue, white, and purple. So some of the setups that I'm looking for are your rotation trades, and then you're also looking for your divergence trades. So I'm going to show you those right now so you get an idea of what you're looking for. The rotation trades are simply at least 3 out of 4, and this is pretty much kind of all 4. You're looking for this good solid dip down and then pulling back up aggressively. That's a rotation trade. So you want to make sure that you at least get 3 out of 4 checked, and your 60 stochastic is trending up and you still have room to go. So this is your fast stochastics, these are your slower stochastics. So on a 1 minute chart, this is what's happening right here now. And on the 40, that's probably what's showing what's happening on the 3 minute, and this the 5 minute. So this is what keeps me out of trouble. A lot of people ask me, did I take this alignment, or why did I take it? Why did I not take it? Because I'm always looking at my stochastics and finding what is the 40 and the 60 doing? Are we trending upwards? So like in this instance here, you're looking for potential longs because we're starting to see this trending up. But of course, you don't see any of this stuff, so I'm going to probably wait for the algo to get me a good entry or a good bullish candle to break through this cloud right here. And then we see this rotation setup right here. I'm in. This is a perfect entry right here to get into a trade as a confluence. When these all work together, when I get a signal, get a good bullish candle, the wave is starting to open up and it's pointing to the upside, and I've got room to go. The stochastics already trending up. And from this entry, it's only at the 50-ish level. So we've got all the way till like the 85, 90 level before you have to worry about getting back out of this trade. Or you close a trade when you start seeing it close back into the profit wave. Whatever your exit criteria is, it's fine. But I'm relying on the 40 and the 60 to show me the overall trend into the deeper time frames, and then I'm looking at the faster ones to show me what's happening in the here and now as I'm looking for signals. The divergent setup is typically when you've got a good entry in a defined channel, and this usually marks the end of a channel. So whereas most people look for a channel breakout, retest, and then entry to go long, I'm catching the trade way down in here because I'm looking here. This is a rotation setup to begin with because we've pushed down, not as steep as this, but this is a divergence setup to where here on the 14, we've got a higher high in momentum, but then a lower low in price. Now, the steeper that both of these are in relation to one another usually signifies the bigger trade potential that you have. And I wouldn't have stayed in this trade very long anyhow because I'm looking for it to probably hit this EMA and flag out anyhow. So you could also look for when it gets oversold into this 85 level, or it starts turning back to the downside. Those are all signs to get out of the trade. You know when it's breaking through the profit wave. You know, you're looking at your algo here. You're looking at, okay, we hit to the top of this trade pretty quickly, and we kind of entered down here. We're already kind of entering here. We're kind of getting some smaller candles. I'd probably wait for this to kind of come back up to this level and close out of the trade is what I'd probably do. Or when I start seeing this start trending to the downside. You know, this is a good example right here. So these divergence setups are really good to find the ends of a move in an upward or downward channel, and you're spotting this divergence. I've learned all this from Day Trading Ready, from John at Day Trading Ready. I'll send over his channel link. You can look at some of his videos, and he does ramble on a bit, but look at his playlist and you'll start seeing what to look for in some of the setups. And there are some incredible setups, and it takes time to learn how to identify these and catch these. But when you add just some of the confluences, even just this 40 and 60 to show you, should you get into this trade or not? Like, I wouldn't be looking for longs here. I'm looking for shorts here because now we've already kind of pegged here. When you're pegged to the upside, you're kind of still looking for long opportunities. But when you start seeing this shorter, the faster ones trending down, okay, well, there's no buy or really sell entries here. But once I start seeing the 60 and the 40 start to trend down, okay, now I know I'm looking for sales. So the first signal I get in my algo, or the first big bearish candle I see breaking through the wave, I'm taking this trade to the downside, which is exactly what would have happened just right here, right now. So, you start seeing the wave fanning out, you start seeing the point of the downside. Time to get in until you see the 9 being oversold, and once it starts pointing to the upside, it's time to get out of the trade, or you put a 60 tick take profit, 120, whatever you're happy with. So that's how I catch some of my entries. That's what identify this, but mainly these 40 and 60s tells me which way am I looking for. Am I looking for longs? Am I looking for shorts? Are we embedded to the upside? Are we embedded to the downside? So these are all things that show me continuation trades, what I'm looking for in the algos, what I'm looking for in the alignment signals. This kind of qualifies and checks the box of, do I want to take this trade? Do I not want to take this trade? What do I want to do? So that's kind of what's happening here. Um, so that's it. I hope this helped you. I know there's a lot to learn. This took me a couple of months of really learning all this stuff to really get an idea, but that's what I look for in stochastics. That's how I qualify my entries on the algo, and that's what I'm doing. And these are just a sim account here. It took this worked out really good in NQ, but this thing took a trade on here and it got stopped. I don't know what the heck it was doing really. But anyhow, yeah, this is just the his Rockbot script here that I'm kind of testing out. So it's just in a sim account. So, but yeah, that's how I use to qualify my accounts, how I qualify my setups, and what I'm looking for qualifiers to enter a trade, to not enter a trade. And my accounts have done pretty good. I'm not saying that I've won every single account, but typically I've got quite a bit of them. And when you're looking for kind of the same thing here in TradingView,
order submitted.
These are your really good setups the same way here. When you start seeing the 60 stochastic pointing to the upside, we know that we're looking for long. So when we see a bullish candle push up above the profit wave and we're turning from red to green, that's usually when I'm entering a trade. So this is that, this R method that they have, where you're looking for, okay, great, we are breaking out here. So this is a quad rotation to the upside. The 60 is now trending up. We got a big bullish candle going through the profit wave. We're looking for long until we see the 9 and the 14 starting to teeter out, or we start getting a candle close back into the profit wave. And that's probably from here even, 60 ticks. So that's a good quick trade for this time of the night here. So, not a bad trade at all. Looks like we just got an alignment sell at about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago to go short to the downside. So yeah, that's how you're looking for the same thing. And keep in mind, this 60 is your room. If you are already to the upside and you're still looking for long entries here, like you don't see any of this stuff, you kind of know that, okay, well, you are embedded and you can still get longs out of this. Just because they're all embedded doesn't necessarily mean that. But I'm looking for this to start poking to the upside, because you see how the fast stochastics have already flushed back to the downside, but the 60 is still to the top side. As soon as I start seeing this pointing down, I know we're only looking for sales now. And typically I'm either waiting for a big bearish candle to close to take the short, or I'm waiting for these fast stochastics to catch back up to the 60, and then when they all start pointing to the downside, then I'll jump into a trade. So that's kind of how I qualify things on both sides. And of course, you're looking out for things like, your VWAP. Like if you're looking for a buy entry, once you start hitting, major, EMAs like your VWAPs and your bigger EMAs, that's when okay, there's something ahead to look for. But these stochastics really help me qualify what I'm going to get into, what I'm not going to get into. Once we start seeing these fast stochastics rotating to the up or down side, when it's time to maybe get out of a trade if I'm into a trade. But that's a great quad rotation setup right here. And you can even see the divergence setup right here just a little bit. There's a little bit of a divergence where price is still kind of coming down right here and price is going up here. But it's honestly easier to see the divergences. You can still kind of see this here from here to here, and price is going to the downside still, but it's actually quite easier to see the divergences on NinjaTrader when you have them separate a little bit, just because these are all kind of really combined together. So I'm mainly looking for my rotation setups. This overbought, hey, we might go up. You can catch this little trade here. But I'm always looking for the bullish candle, real dots to close above it, looking for the stochastics to start pointing to the upside. I don't care if these hit the 90. It's when I start seeing price start to fail and the fast stochastics start to point down. Now I'm getting out of the trade, because this could pull back a little bit and then just keep on pushing back up too. But on Asia session or low ATRs, like these are very horrible ATRs right here, 60 ticks, maybe even 40 ticks on these low ATRs, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, you've got a lot of volatility, big ATRs, then you're going to be able to catch these 1620 tick trades. So hope this helps, guys. There's a lot to take in. It really is. This is just months of learning, trial, error, what I'm looking for. I'll take some screenshots and circle some identifying trades, what I'm looking for. That's going to really help you see what to identify as well, too. But, it seems like a lot to take in, but I literally have NinjaTrader set up on my laptop, and I've got TradingView on my Microsoft Surface. So I've got two screens I'm typically looking at when
Order
I'm trading.
failed.
And that's what I'm looking for when I'm taking a trade. That's exactly what I'm looking for qualifying it. But just even on TradingView, this is a great tool just to show you, yes, now we can look for longs, but we wouldn't want to go long here because we're already overbought on 3 of the 4 stochastics. Even though we have room to go, that disqualifies a trade. You want all of these already on the downside and then pointing up, and you've got a good bullish candle. That's a qualifying trade. This doesn't qualify because these are already the upside and now they're starting to point down. You're going to get a rotation to the downside. So that's what you look for. Hope this helps, guys. Have a great evening.